Ivan, the cheap Ukrainian dude from Little Falls, New Jersey. See more better with freeprescriptionlenses.com. And tonight I'm going to cut Transitions Extra Active Gray lenses with the blue flash mirror for the Oakley that you sent me, because it's too cheap to buy a frame from me. And by the way, Ivan, the cheap Ukrainian dude, is not to be confused with David, the cheap bastard from Manchester, England. Those are my two cheap buddies. But he couldn't have bought this from me even if he wanted to. The frame is no longer available. It is the Oakley 3187 color 05, the pewter cobalt in the 51 eye size. And it's going to look good with that blue mirror lens. So let me begin. I'm going to start by putting a couple dots on the lens. This is known as a string mount. Put a dot there and a dot there. And if you guys missed any of that, let me recap. So I'm going to take out the original demo lens. But first I need to program this shape into the computer. You are Secret Agent 1340. So that years from now, should you ever need new lenses, I can mail them right to your home. And I'll show you how to put them in, and I'll even send you the tool to do it. I'm going to pull the paper away to make that black side sticky. These are just the smaller blocks versus the larger ones that go onto the ones that I'll be cutting tonight. But I'll put those two dots on there because there is a line on the back, and I'm going to get everything lined up on there just perfectly. It tells me it's on there straight. Okay, we're good there. Put that into the tracing element of my blocker and hit the right lens start button. And it's going to ask me for the bridge width, which is 18. Check. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy any Oakley frame from me and you'll receive one free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipt has my federal ID tax number. So if you have vision insurance or flex dollars, you will get reimbursed for this purchase, whether they're prescription or not. Now, Ivan could not buy this frame for me, so I did charge him for the lenses, and I charged him for the upgrade to the transitions, the video, all the above. So, alright, there we go. So, let me enter pupillary distance, which is 63, which is 31.5 for each eye. So I'm going to hit the minus button twice to bring it down to that. I want to raise the optical center up to 19. And let me begin getting his lenses prepped. Turn the right lens to 3 1/4. Sorry, at 180. Put the axis wheel on 180. Put the power drum on 0 to start with. And I can almost tell based on power which one's the right lens, because they'll be a little bit thicker. This one at 3 1/4. Put the power drum on 3 1/4, and I bet I don't even have to rotate it much. Oh, I'm wrong. Look at that. Hang on. That is 3 1/4. Let me get everything centered. Let me check something too. 3 1/4. 550. Yep, 3 1/4 minus 2 1/4 is 550. So that is the right lens. Let me make sure everything is centered just right. Just perfect. I hate when a cheap person complains about something, so I'm going to make sure it's done perfect. You're not even going to get the chance to complain. Alright, we're good there. I'm going to put 3 dots on your lenses. If my ink is holding up. No, of course not. Never. Why would there be enough ink in there? Why, I ask you, would there be enough ink? So I need to start charging by the drop on ink. I just need to get a lensometer that doesn't dry out so fast. I do not know what the deal is. Alright, let me put the lens back in there. I don't have to move it around as much because the platform is centered. And before the ink dries, let me put some dots on here. That is good. This is the right lens. We're going to mark that one R. Put that up on the platform. Let's do the same thing for the lens that ain't right. Put the axis wheel on 33. Put the power drum on minus 2 1/4. Put the lens in, rotate until the spherical component comes in clearly. Check the astigmatism correction Minus 475, that is correct. We're going to put, actually this one's upside down, let me do that. Oh, the humanity. It just never ends. Watch, the ink would have dried out in the time it takes me to flip that lens around. Let me make sure there's plenty on there. Yep, there's there. I'm going to darken it though so it doesn't disappear. And this is the left lens. And again, if you guys missed any of that, let me recap. That joke's for me. I don't care if you don't laugh at that. That joke is for me. I don't care who you are that's funny. So this is a block with clothes on. Let me get a naked block with no stickers on there. I need to apply 2 double-sided adhesive stickers, of which I've got 2 here. Let me clean up as I go. Throw that away there. The black side is the sticky side. I'm going to stick that on the first one, place it on the platform, do the same thing for the second one. Now I'm going to pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. The silver button on the back is a magnet. It's going to do its job twice tonight. The first time it's going to attach itself to another magnet there in the arm. And the reason why I put those 3 dots on there, it tells me that it's oriented in there just perfectly. So I'm going to lay that out. PD 31.5, optical center height, we're good. Check, make sure the lens is large enough to fit. It is. Hit the button, the arm's going to come down, place the block onto the right lens. We're going to do the same thing now for the lens that ain't right. Pull the paper away to make the black side sticky, line that up. Pupillary distance is the same, optical center is the same. I don't have to change anything. Get that lined up just right. Check the lens, we're good to go. Hit that button, the arm's going to come down, place the block onto the left lens. Now this is the edger. This is what's going to do all the work while I run my mouth. It costs $40,000. It weighs 200 pounds. I wish it cost $200 and weighed 40,000 pounds. Wouldn't that be cool? But I tell everyone, go out, buy your own, put it on your own kitchen counter, then you cut your own lenses at home, and you won't need this guy with the 2 thumbs and the bad jokes to do it for you. By the way, every cheap person is going to get a pink cloth. So, don't worry, I got a surprise for you later. But let's wake up the computer. Job number 1340. Where's your paper? There it is. I need new glasses. Job number 1340. So these are polycarbonate lenses. If they were plastic, high index plastic or Trivex, I would select that. This is going to be a grooved lens. You see the notch that cuts into it. I'm not going to polish the edge of the lens. I am going to put a safety bevel on the front convex surface of the lens. I'm going to put a slightly heavier one on the rear concave surface of the lens. The actual cutting wheel is this heavily crusted diamond coated wheel that's going to grind away your lens material until it's this size, from that down to that. And then there's this little wheel right here with this blade on it. That's what's going to cut a groove into the lens so it stays inside the groove of the frame, just like Scott's. This is 2 Oakleys today. I did one for Scott this morning that was a string mount that he mailed to me, and now Ivan sent me one too. So now the magnet's going to do its job a second time. It's going to attach itself to another magnet there into the chuck, or as I like to call it, the Charles, because I don't know this machine well enough to call it chuck. So I hit the green arrow, which is started in every language. The door closes, the clamp shuts, making just a terrible sound. And then the lens is going to be traced by 2 white styluses, going around tracing the shape of the right side of the lens. Before doing the old carpenter saying measure twice, cut once, it's measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know where to cut the groove into the lens for the best cosmetic look possible. Now the cutting wheel is starting to spin. The lens will drop down towards that, and in the back you will see light flickering. That is water there to catch the optical sawdust. Polycarbonate lenses cut dry, where plastic, high index plastic, and Trivex lenses cut wet, meaning that water sprays onto the lens for the duration of the cutting cycle. Now water will spray onto this lens for the last 20 seconds just to wash away any optical debris that you may see beginning to form on the edge of the lens now. As I mentioned, your lenses are made out of polycarbonate. Polycarb is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. They are virtually unbreakable. These are high-impact ballistics grade lenses. In fact, these lenses are so hard you can hit them with a cloth and nothing happens. But it's the same type of lens materials that is used in OSHA safety glasses for any factory workers. It is also the same lens material that our soldiers wear overseas in combat zones to protect their eyes from shrapnel and flying debris. It also has 100% UVA and UVB protection built into the lens. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin. Your eyes are 8 times more sensitive. How sensitive? Somewhere between 7 and 9% more sensitive than your skin. So you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes, unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that need to be reapplied every couple hours when you're in direct exposure to the sun. This is permanent and never needs to be reapplied. Now here's a weird, bizarre thing. You think you spend $40,000 on a piece of equipment, everything would go right, but no. On semi-rimless, it starts off, gets halfway through, comes back up, and then has to inch its way back down. Oh, is this going to be a long video? Are you guys stuck with me? I'm just going to have to ramble on. My condolences for anyone watching this video. So, I will demonstrate the transitions to XTRAactive a little bit later, but you have the blue flash mirror, which by the way comes with its own back surface anti-glare coating. You cannot put a Crizal coating on here. He tried to spend the extra money for a Crizal Prevencia. I refunded it. How's that for honesty? I could have taken it and told him it was on the lens. He never would have known. But I'm just too honest. Don't tell my wife I'm too honest. I still like to lie to her on occasion. I tell her, no honey, your butt looks fine in that dress. No, those pants don't make you look fat. Oh, you always gotta lie to the wife. It's better than sleeping on the couch. So, your lens is completely flat all the way around. It's now getting extra flat, smoothing out any rough surfaces before it gets cut again by the blade. Look, you got some optical sawdust, some schwarf on the edge of your lenses. When I was in school and I first heard the professor use that term, I raised my hand and called BS. And said I didn't know that was, I said they were making up that word. They made me open my textbook in front of all my classmates and find that word schwarf. Careful when you call BS on somebody. You better have your facts straight. So, there's a little spinning blade. Your lens is going onto that blade, cutting the groove in there. This groove, look at my thumbnail, not this groove, here on the edge. But by the way, this mirror coating only comes on Transitions XTRAactive Gray and Brown. It also comes in 6 colors: silver, gold, green, blue, red, and pink. The blue just looks like a really cool version of Crizal Sapphire. It's like Crizal Sapphire on steroids. It's just a more noticeable version. So, as I was mentioning this morning, everyone knows about this string at the bottom of the lens. It's a 20-pound monofilament, just like you would find on a fishing string, fishing line, but you also have one on the inside of the frame because the groove goes all the way around the lens. So you have to have a matching corresponding one in the top. So there's a figure 8 liner. If you can imagine 2 of these glued side by side until it was a figure 8. It slides into the frame, so that's what grips the lens at the top. This one grips it at the bottom. So now it's going to go back onto the wheel to flatten it out again. Any rough edges left over from the blade. Boris the Blade. I just watched Guy Ritchie movie Snatch the other night. I love that movie. Boris the Blade. Boris the Budget Dodger. Where's Boris from? It's hard to tell because of his thick Russian accent. So, one of these days I'm going to make it to Russia. I have a cousin living in Chita, which is the outskirts of Siberia. Not even Siberia proper. He's in the outskirts of it. Checking one thing, okay. So water is spraying onto the lens. It does that for the last 20 seconds. My cousin, who grew up in Southern California, in Riverside, California, when he graduated college, he got a degree from USC School of Screenwriting, which was the Harvard of the industry. It's so prestigious, Spielberg could not even get in there. Although they did say that he's welcome to come back and get his master's if he has a hard time finding work. But when my cousin graduated from college, his parents treated him to a trip to Europe. He was in Leningrad, which is now St. Petersburg. But while he was in Leningrad, which is now St. Petersburg, for those of you keeping score at home, he met a girl from Siberia, fell in love, and moved to Siberia. I told my wife, honey, I love you, but I'm not moving to Siberia. Russia is so large that if he flew 11 hours to the west and I flew 11 hours to the east, we would meet in Moscow. That is how large it is. But one of these days, it'll have to be when I retire, I'm going to fly into Moscow and take the Trans-Siberian Railway. It takes 1 week to make it all the way over to Chita, spelled like Cheeto, but with an AH. It is 200 miles from the Chinese border. Let me flip that over to L. Place that magnet into the Charles, the Chucky baby, the Chuckster, the Chuck Ivanovich. Hit the button, the door closes, the clamp shuts. The lens again is going to be traced by the 2 white styluses, making sure it's large enough to fit into the left side of the frame. You can see as it's going around tracing the left side this time. And checking to see where to place the bevel. This bevel, that one in the middle. In fact, I'll go ahead and start cleaning. But he's 200 miles from the Chinese border. Put that sticker on there. My cousin teaches English on TV, on the radio, and in a school. He teaches English as a foreign language. I asked him how many days of the year he can wear shorts since he came from Southern California. How many days of the year can he wear shorts? And he says, you can wear them every day of the year. You'll be miserable, but you can wear them. But one of these days I'm going to make it over and spend a week taking the Trans-Siberian Railway from Moscow to Chita and then fly back out of there. I'm not going to take the train ride twice. Now there's a food car. In the early days, the train would stop for a couple hours in some town in the middle of nowhere. You would have to get off and forage for dinner, and then get back on and hope you don't miss that train, or else you're stuck in that little town till the next one comes by the same time the next night. So now that all the optical sawdust has been removed from the lens, I'm going to take it and place into the top of the frame with this groove. Now, Ivan, if you ever need new lenses, this is what you're going to do, and I'm going to show you. Tuck the lens in at the outside, right there, and into the top of the frame. Now this is a ribbon, the same thing like you use to wrap a present or a little plastic strap off of a package. If you ever get new lenses, I'll mail you one, but I fold it in half. I start at the outside corner. I tuck the string in on the outside. I always start at the outside and work my way towards the nose because generally the slope gets flatter. I pull outward on the string, and when you hear that snap, you pull the string out. Now, should you ever need new lenses, put your thumb against the lens at the nose, grab it by the same side. I grab the frame. Now I'm going to push down on my thumb, pushing this way on it, at the same time pulling upward on the frame to pop the lens out. And again, to put it in, I turn the frame upright, tuck the lens in at the top, grab the string, slip that through there, again tuck it in the outside corner, and when you hear the snap, it is in there. I put my finger on the string, not this finger, not this finger, not this finger. I put this finger, this one, so you know which one it is. This one right here, and then slide that out. And in doing so, I've knocked off your PD, so I'm going to have to put more ink in here. Let's bring this down here. We're going to turn the lensometer back to 180, which is the axis for your cylinder, the astigmatism of your right eye. We're going to put it in, check the power. Where's my flashlight? I'm getting -3 1/4, 1 tick mark away from 3. That's because you are nearsighted. You are myopic. You need, 3 is 12, 13 steps of farsighted correction. You're on the 13th rung of a ladder, going up in quarter increments, starting at 0 and going up in quarter increments, 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 3 1/4. You need 13 steps of farsighted correction. With your glasses off, everything is much too large, so that's why your lens will minify down to the correct size. Now, once everything is the correct size, you have another 9 steps of astigmatism correction. And so, let's check. You have 2 curves on your eye, the -3 1/4 here, and then another steeper curve this way, which is going to give you a total of 550. But it's how you line up those 2 curves to make everything nice and crisp. Uncorrected astigmatism makes 6s and 8s look alike, or the letters P and F. So we're going to turn that fine-tune knob to 180, a straight line to 0 to 90 to 180. Whoa, come on now. Let's check, you see how that sticks on there? It's a little magnet for left-handed people, for right-handed people. But we're going to check your second curve, and we're getting 550. Look at that. Remember high school? How did I get the 550? Remember high school algebra where you add two like signs together? Yeah, don't worry, I've forgotten it too. Let's use today's terms. Someone borrowed $3.25 from you, then they borrowed another $2.25. They would owe you $5.50. That's where we're at, 550, exactly halfway between 5 and 6 in the red. Now these first two numbers are real values to be concerned with. This last number could be anywhere from 0 to 180. It just tells me where to turn that fine-tune knob. So your left eye, you only need 9 steps of far-sighted correction, but you need another 10 steps of astigmatic correction. So, by the way, I forgot to write this down. Your lenses, since you did not buy the frame for me and could not buy the frame for me, were $49.99. The Transitions XTRAactive, and I still gave you the discounted price of, no wait, what was it? I can't remember, but normally when you buy the frame it's $129.99. When you don't buy the frame, it is $199.99, because I charge you a little bit more for that. And then, no, because that's included there. So yes, that is one, I should have done this, $129.99. I didn't know there was going to be so much math. I mathed wrong. And then the mirror coating is $69.99 for a total of, say it with me, $49.99 plus $129.99 plus $69.99 for the mirror coating. Comes to $24.97. Of course, you paid for the video, which was another 25 bucks, for a total of $274.97. He paid more than that, but I refunded the difference for the mirror coating. And I apologize if I'm bad at math. I'm good at cutting glasses, but I've been known to, people have said that I mathed wrong. I'm not that good in English either. Although I am pretty good. I studied for 12 years in school. I feel I no longer speak with an accent. Open the door with my mind. Ooh, water dripped on me. I'm going to charge extra from that. So dry everything off here. Pop the block off. Pull the sticker away. Use my hand-approved drying method. Throw that back in there. Put the sticker on top. Thanks for adding 2 stickers to my sticker collection. It looks a lot better with those 2 on there, doesn't it? All right, run my thumbnail around. Actually, let's get all the rest of the optical sawdust off the edge of your lens. I scrape it off the lens and let it fall on the counter. Let me get all of it off. Run my thumbnail around the inside to make sure none of that is on the inside of that groove. And then once it's all off the counter, I neatly collect it into one pile and then wipe it on the floor. Oh wait, where's your frame? I lost your frame. Again, to take the lens out, thumb at the nose area, grab the other side, grab the frame here, pull upward on it, at the same time pushing downward with your thumb to the right. The lens pops out. Tuck the lens into that groove at the top. The groove is in the heart. All right, I'll stop. Grab the string with the strap. Pull that in there. Which finger? This finger. Put on top. Slide that out. You are good to go. We're going to come down here, turn the fine-tune knob to 33. Somewhere between 32 and 34. Read the power, and if all goes well, I'm going to end up with -2 1/4. Look at that, 2 1/4. You have another 2.5 diopters of astigmatism correction. When I check for that, we're getting 475. Look at that. The kit is good, except I wiped off the PD stick. I mean the PD stick, the PD. So let me turn it back to 180. Put another drop of ink in here. I'm going to start charging by the drop when I do these videos. Get in there. Get in there. Higgins. Old Higgy baby. From the old Magnum PI. Put that in. Got to open that up first. Find the optical center. Dial in the power. Make sure everything is centered. Oh, come on. Quit being difficult. And now we put the dot on there. So your PD is 63. I'm going to turn the card around, place the PD stick against my thumb on your right lens, the millimeters, not the inches side, and we hold it up to the left. We're getting 63 millimeters, so that is cut perfectly. Check the optical center height. That should come out to, what did I say it was? 19. Oh yeah, the kit is good. Look at the bottom of the lens, 19 millimeters. 19 millimeters. Man, I could not have done a better job if I had cut these lenses myself. So this is the portion in every video that as I clean your lenses, and I mentioned that when you get these in the mail, and of course free shipping anywhere in the US, and Little Falls, New Jersey is still in the US. But when you get these in the mail, there's a small chance that these could fit too loose or too tight. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That's because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other. And because of that statistic, 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. But I'm going to get these in standard alignment first, also known as a 3-point stance. The 3 points are 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I set them down and press down on the counter. There is no wobble. And normally, I'm part of that 80%. My glasses wobble, but that's the amazing thing about these Oakley Pilot Temples, is it's almost self-correcting. Now, it's called a pilot temple because if you can imagine you were a fighter pilot, sorry, I need to reposition the camera so it's not crooked. If you were a fighter pilot wearing a helmet in the cockpit, you could slide these glasses on and off without taking your helmet off. So if you ride a motorcycle or anything like that, this is a great frame to have. But yeah, normally when I take mine off and press down, they wobble on the counter, but they sit level on me. I wear the pilot temple because I wear my aluminum foil hat, and that's why I can put my glasses on and off without taking off my tinfoil hat. For those of you keeping score at home, I'm wearing the Oakley 8132 in color 05, which is the universe blue, because I'm all about me some blue orange. And these frames have, if you pull that little tab down, this slides off and you can change the color. I believe these frames come with 2 different color, well, an extra pair of temples. So, put mine back on so I can see what I'm doing, yo. Flip this over, press down, there is no wobble. Close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly, and they do, that neither temple is askew. Now, here's another teaching moment. Here, well, let's use your cleaning cloth bag. You have the Transitions XTRAactive. I have the Transitions Signature 7. You can see the difference. A clear lens probably has about 1 to 2 degrees of it's not absolutely clear. It retains a little bit of hue to it. The Transitions Signature 7 have 3 to 5%. The Transitions XTRAactive have 5 to 7% hue that it retains while indoors. But it does get extra darker. Now, I have the Crizal Sapphire on my lenses. You have the blue flash mirror, so it's like a Crizal Sapphire on steroids, which actually looks like a really, really cool anti-glare, even when you're inside. Again, let me put mine on so I can see what I'm doing. By the way, you have 5.5 diopters of total power in your lenses, 475 in your left. So that's your right lens. That's 5.5 diopters. I ordered these Poly 10 ultra thin lenses, so if you don't mind me saying, I think that turned out really, really well, considering this is no power. And oops, this is no power. And that's the thickness. You have 5.5 diopters there and not a lot of difference. So that's what you get when you have a licensed optician do these. I custom made for you. I had them everything designed the way it would be so they would turn out the best. So this is what your lenses, oh, by the way, so I send out a selfie request in every package to have your picture on the website. Ivan, come on, hook me up now. And I also send out cleaning instructions, not only how to care for your frame and lenses, but for your Oakley cleaning cloth and the premium microfiber cleaning cloth that I will provide. So those two will last you for years, as well as your Oakley case. Now let me clean your lenses. What's that? Hang on, don't worry, I won't give you a blue one. I thought the yellow would go well with the blue lenses. It would give it some good contrast. So, but I field test every cleaning cloth before I ship. I don't want to send out a defective one. Plus, I'm too lazy to reach in my pocket to pull my cloth out to clean your lens. Who has time for that? So that's what your lenses look like before they have been activated, meaning that I'm exposed them to a strong burst of ultraviolet light, causing them to turn dark. So let's see, going from clear to come on now, get in that little slot. XTRAactive gray. Now, as you can see, it takes about 30 to 45 seconds for transition lenses to darken. It takes a little bit longer when you come back inside, 45 seconds to a minute, minute 15. Now, Ivan, the cheap Ukrainian dude, pay attention. All transition lenses will get dark on day 1 and continue to darken every day for the first couple weeks they're exposed. After that, they will work for years at maximum performance. The only time that my Transition Signature 7 lenses won't work is if I'm behind the windshield of a car. Your windshield absorbs the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays, which cause the lenses to turn dark. It would also cause your dashboard to crack from sitting in the sun all day. Now yours, Ivan, the Transitions XTRAactive, will get 30 to 50% dark behind a windshield. Now my Transition Signature 7 will get darker when it's 85 and below than they will when it's 95 and above. But Ivan, your Transitions XTRAactive will get darker than mine in hotter weather. It's designed for XTRAactive people. So that's the other nice thing about these lenses. They cost more, but they do more. So yes, yours are better than mine. I'm getting counseling. I'm working through these things. I'm getting shots and injections, and that's just the way it is. So this is the first time they've been activated. They're going to keep getting darker. Come on, Ivan. We talked about that. Don't you remember? But that is the blue mirror coating on there. It's not as reflective as a true pair of mirrored sunglass lenses, but still, that is really, really cool that it will do that. So I'm doing it from all angles, but yeah, that is pretty sharp, pretty awesome. So if you've liked what you've seen, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram as freeprescriptionlenses.com. You can follow me on Twitter as freerxlenses. If you have a question about what I can or can't do, you can hit the contact me button on this website, or you can email me directly at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com, or leave a question in the comment section below if you're feeling lazy like me, and then I'll answer that for you. So Ivan in Little Falls, New Jersey, thank you for sending your frame so I could do the Transitions XTRAactive in your Oakley 3187, color 05, the pewter cobalt, and the 51 eye size. And everyone else has got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.